Hi guys, Leo at the Super Sport Shed. Just want to run over Petcock repairs. It's a service that we offer in the shed. We also sell the Petcock repair kit, which is a washer with some holes in. We also provide two M3 JIS screws and a little O-ring that goes here. We do those on the website, you can buy them. Or again, this client has sent his in. It's also a service we offer on bikes that come into the workshop. There is a knowledge-based article on this on our website. So all the words, all the figures are in there. But this is just a video because I know some people, like myself, like to watch a video, understand more from a video. So what you're going to need the Super Sport Shed Petcock repair kit. There are other guys around the world who are selling this in America. KM will sell them, in different places around other people sell them. But you'll need your Petcock repair kit, you'll need a JIS screwdriver. Now with the size of these screws, JIS screwdrivers are so important. If you haven't got a set and you're working on Japanese bikes, just go out and buy some. You can get cheap ones on Amazon for around £10, which is what, 14, 15 US dollars. I spent a little bit more money. I spent £50 on a set and I've got quite big hands and these are really nice. Again, these are available through eBay UK. If you want them, just drop us a comment and I can send you the link. You'll also need a 2.5mm drill bit, which is already in my drill over here. You'll need a M3mm tap, and that's a plug tap. It's not got a taper on it. This is soft aluminium. You know, you don't need to be that aggressive. I use a pin vise for my taps. You'll need a 5mm drill bit to drill out the rivets. You'll need a pick to pick out the old one unless it falls out if it's that dry, and you will need a hand vise. If you don't have a hand vise, then you're not going to get it level, and as you can see here, it is very level. It's about as best as you're going to get, because if you drill out of level, you're going to drill through the body of the Petcock and, well, your Petcock's rubbish. If you don't feel confident enough doing it, or if you don't have hand vise or a pillar drill, send it in. There is a cost and it works out about £50 plus the VAT and a bit of shipping back, but a new one's £120 plus the VAT, so that's nearly $150. So yeah, let's get on. So I'm going to start by drilling out these rivets with the 2.5mm drill bit. Turn the drill on. We like to turn all our electricity off in the shed, keep us on our toes. Excellent. So now you've drilled both sides of your rivets out. You want to get your 3mm tap and tap the holes. You don't want to be drilling the top off yet. Now we regularly use our pillar drills like a drill press, so we can get our taps lovely and straight. You can do it with a pin vise and a normal tap, but again, with something that's fairly expensive, being able to get it in the drill press, get it nice and straight, just makes a difference. Now, obviously, we don't run it with the drill on. We are literally turning it by hand, getting a few threads in, and then we take it back out, do the other side, then we finish it off by hand with my pin vise. So yeah, using my drill press with my M3 drill tap, non-tapered tap, plug tap, I'll get there in the end. I just literally twist it by hand with a bit of pressure on the handle just to get it going in. Making sure it's going in nice and straight at right angles. And then I just work my way back out. And this is something that Kerry does. He taught me to do it. I spent lots of time fixing old machines in my previous occupation, and I was never taught this, and it was something I really wish I'd done and known how to do, and it just makes everything a lot easier. Now we see, it's going to be very hard to see on the video, but we've got some tapping in. So now I've taken out the vise, I'm going to use my pin tap holder and just tap it by hand all the way in. I'm not going to show you this on video, but you'll get the gist. Right, so I've now tapped it in. It's not particularly easy to see. I'm now going to use my 5mm drill bit just to take the top of the rivets off. It's just the easiest way, so I'm going to quickly do that in the drill press. So now you drill the rivets out, all the tops of your rivets off, you need to prise it off. Now, there's one item I have not included in my tool little kit, and that is a knife I stole from my wife's kitchen. It's nice and thin, and it gets in between this gap lovely, and as you can see, actually mine started popping off, but use what you want. Bit of a disclaimer, just go careful if you're using a knife or anything small. You could use a small rule if you want, but obviously sharp stabs, you bleed, don't bleed. So, and then it comes apart like that, and exactly what happens has happened. The little spring falls out and the ball bearing's fallen out. Now I have spare ball bearings, I'm very lucky because we've lost them before, but that is prime example, and it's come apart. I would always advise taking it apart in the bucket or a tub, and I didn't get that far. Just proves that accidents happen, we're not all perfect, and even at the shed we do make mistakes from time to time. So I'm going to get a tray to put all these parts in. So I've got my lever, the tiny little spring, and this spring goes in this tiny little hole, and you can see how small it is. You've got your main spring that puts pressure on the plate, and then you've got in there your Petcock seal, and you can see, yeah, I mean that's pretty grim in there. So we're going to quickly hook that out like so. Look at that, fruity. You can see it's rubbish. If I compare it to a new one, you can see it's quite supple, but it's leaking. And actually I was amazed when this Petcock turned up in what good condition it is in, and I'm not 100% sure. It's a fairly new Petcock. It might be that it is a new replacement. I say fairly new, it might be 10 years old. I'm just wondering if this Petcock seal has had some damage, because normally, you can see I can move it, normally they are rock solid. You can't move them, they're like a washer, and this one's really nice and flexible. So yeah, I'm going to give it all a bit of a clean up. So just while I'm cleaning this out, this is the sort of rubbish that I'm taking out of this Petcock. I don't know if it's just modern fuel or I don't know what, but this is why it's so key to run inline filters on your bikes nowadays, guys. Like, it's just horrific. Again, every bike that comes in, if it hasn't got one on, we put an inline filter in a bike. But I think more and more people should be doing it. There are filters that go on here, but I mean, as you can see, this one doesn't have one. I don't know if there's one in the bike, but I mean, that is gritty, sandy rubbish. So yeah, great. So we're nice and clean, nice bit of air pressure. From the compressor always cleans out any crap as well. So that's now in, and it's now the hard bit. So you want to make sure you've got all your components ready to go. And start by putting in your seal. There isn't really a right way or a wrong way up. I'll just stick it in whichever way it goes in, comes out the packet. We stick it in, and it is quite complicated. It's quite fiddly. In true Peter fashion, I've walked away, come back, and it's done. So once that's in, it's just a case of putting it back together. So you start with your wedge, your tap, and obviously you've got to remember which way round everything goes to make sure it's right. And I'd obviously just give it a test. Now, reserve is top, off is at the 9 o'clock position, and on is down is at 6. So 12, 9, and 6. So in true fashion as well. So because I'm filming, of course, I then question if I've got it in the right way. I know I've got it in the right way, so yes. Reserve is at 12, on is at 6, off is at 9. Just make sure it's there and it works. Right, so we're going to take it back off, and this is where it gets fiddly. You need to make sure you put your main spring in, and then you've got to get this little spring in the hole and the ball bearing in without losing it, like I've already done, and put it all back together. Something like this. And there we go. And it is in. There we go, basics there. And now you can check, and you should hear click, click. And you can actually see the ball bearing moving in the video. And that just locks it off, it stops it moving. And we have seen Petcocks repaired before where the ball bearing's been lost. They've done the screws and it's great and it doesn't leak, but it doesn't lock into place. So it's now just a case of screwing it up. And lovely. On, off, reserve. Everything's working lovely. Fantastic. And hopefully we'll give this shaft a bit of a clean as well, because it is still a bit grubby. I hadn't really looked at the shaft. We'll give it a clean, we'll get it invoiced, we'll get it back in the post, and hopefully the client will receive it in the next couple of days. Thanks for watching.